Hello, YouTube classroom. Welcome to Mr. Natural's Music School in San Francisco, California, Haight-Ashbury District, and welcome. By the way, if you're ever in the neighborhood, stop in and say hello sometime. We're open from 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Gee, there it is. We're open from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, after 4 o'clock, sometimes you can catch me here privately, personally. So if you're just coming in from someplace like, if you're coming in from Africa or Germany or Eastern Europe or something like that, and you're in America for a little bit, don't be afraid to come on by and say hello. So anyway, the first thing I'd like to mention is please go to lulu.com or Amazon.com and buy my music theory book, Music Theory Decoded, strictly by the numbers, Lynn Vonnie and Mr. Natural. It's very colorful. It's got everything enumerated. It lays out my entire music theory system from beginning to end, explaining how it is the bones of the ABC system and how it can be used to analyze and understand what's going on in music, which is the important thing. Why does a dominant chord feel the way it does and make your ear drop down 5 notes or go up 4 notes? Things like that. The psychology behind music is much easier to understand with numbers, with intervals, than it is ABC. So anyway, welcome to the classroom. We are working on rhythm. We're doing ear training and rhythm dictation. So the thing that you'll need for this class is a piece of paper and a pencil and a hard backing for your piece of paper, so as you draw you can actually hear the tip of the pencil. Being able to write out the rhythm by hearing the rhythm really helps a lot. And today I'm not going to go into an explanation of the code words. We've done all that in the past 6 lessons. From now on we're just going to go on with this, and then each week we're going to add a new code word. Now I've had some comments and I'd like to make a few notes on the comments. One of the comments, which I really like, was that, how do I put this into practice, Mr. Natural? I've learned drum and TARZAN, but I can't actually hear it in music yet. Or I don't know how to put it into practice. Well, first of all, there's about 10 code words, and there's about 40 combinations of these code words. So with a 40-word vocabulary, you're not going to be able to understand very much with just 2 words. It's going to take a little bit more. So you have to hang in here for a couple more weeks until these things start becoming a little bit more complicated. And then as we start compounding and putting these things together and getting mixtures of these rhythms, you'll start to see how this opens up to a plethora of amazing possibilities for rhythm. But each one is controllable, each one is hearable, each one is learnable, and you can learn to dictate in real time by following this simple process. So today we're working on the word alligator. Another thing is, how do you put this into practice? Well, if you're walking down the street and you're just going right, left, right, left, right, left, what you can do is state one of these code words in that single time period. And it's a matter of 1 syllable, 2 syllables, or 4 syllables in the same amount of time. Now that's the part that gets people. They think, oh, I'm going to say alligator, and that's drum, 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 okay? So it has to be done in a single beat. All these things are done in the same time period, okay? They have the same space, but we're shoving in different syllables. So drum holds out or fills out the entire space. Drum, 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 left, right, drum, 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 drum. So as you're walking or trucking down the street, as I say, you're just saying that word. Now replace the word with TARZAN. TARZAN, 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 left foot, right foot, right foot, TARZAN, 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 left foot, right foot, TARZAN, drum, drum, TARZAN, TARZAN, drum, drum, TARZAN, TARZAN, drum, TARZAN, drum, TARZAN, 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 drum, drum, TARZAN, drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan. And you'd be surprised at how much that helps with the ear training. Another thing is saying it out loud. Even if you say it quietly, your ear hears those code words and your brain begins to process that rhythm as that word. And then when you hear music, you're going to hallucinate the word, and you're going to start filling in more and more of the music you hear. We're going to isolate the rhythms and play some music for you that have these rhythms really well isolated so you'll be able to hear them. But you would be surprised at how much of Bach in the Anna Magdalena songbook, for instance. You can go through book 1 and 2, and with the code words you're going to learn in just the next few weeks, you'll be able to read anything in those Bach books. So Bach is great at using simple rhythms and then using them a lot and pushing them through his pieces forever and ever and doing variations on those, which is what you want to learn. So alligator, I would just go alligator, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, drum, Tarzan, alligator, drum, drum, Tarzan, alligator, drum, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator, Tarzan, drum, alligator, Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, drum. So again, as I'm walking, clapping, excellent, excellent way of hearing these things. Just saying them out loud with a metronome, excellent way of practicing them. And then, of course, finding a piece of music that just has these code words, playing that piece of music and saying the code words out loud, which I'll do for you at the end of this piece. Okay, so tonight we have 30 rhythms that we're going to do, and we're going to start in, and I'm going to do a lot of clapping tonight, as well as writing it down in order to move it along. So if you have your pencil and your piece of paper and you're ready, let's get started. So the first code word is again. What we hear is drum, drum, alligator, drum. Now alligator has to have 2 flags on it, where Tarzan only has 1 flag. And that's the main distinction here. Drum, drum, alligator, drum. Next one. Again. Once more. So what I'm hearing is drum, two flags on those. So drum, alligator, right? Next code words. Again. Once more. Drum, Tarzan, alligator, drum. Put the 2 flags on the alligator, the 1 flag on the Tarzan. Put my note heads in, drum, Tarzan, alligator, drum. If you don't have that, it's okay. Just go through this again, or go back to last week, review last week, and then come back over here. All right, so that's the first 3. Now this one is, actually, I'm going to tell you out front, it's in reverse. So listen to it carefully. Again. Once more. Drum, alligator, Tarzan, drum. Put the flags, 2 flags, put your note heads on it if you wish, and there you have it. Drum, alligator, Tarzan, drum. It was exactly the reverse. I just played the other rhythm backwards. Okay. Sometimes you do that to get more variations on those words, and you can flush out lots of possibilities that way. Okay. The 5th one. Again. Alligator, alligator, Tarzan, drum. 1 flag, 2 flags, note heads, which I'll stop putting on in a minute, and you can see alligator, alligator, Tarzan, drum. Alligator, alligator, Tarzan, drum. Next one. Again. Once more. Alligator drum, Tarzan drum. Alligator drum, Tarzan drum. Listen carefully. Once more. Alligator, 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 drum. Listen carefully. Whenever it ends with a drum, it sounds like a period or it's final and it's easy to hear. But if there's a Tarzan or an alligator on the end, your ear floats and it's hard to hear that ending. So listen very carefully to this. Do it again. Once more. Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan. So your ear floats on that last thing. So you have to listen very carefully. What happens is usually people hear Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, drum. They don't hear the upbeat. It seems to disappear sometimes. Okay. Next one. Once more. I forgot it by the time my Tarzan, alligator, alligator, drum. Tarzan, alligator, alligator, drum. Short-term memory loss. Okay. Now listen very carefully. Again. Once more. Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator. 2 on the alligators, 1 flag on the Tarzans. Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator. I hope this is getting easier and easier as time goes on. You should be picking this up and hearing these easily now. Next one. Once more. Alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. Alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. Yeah, let's move around a little bit faster now. Once more. Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan, drum. Got it? Careful. Again. And once more. That one is not easy. Drum, alligator, alligator, Tarzan. Drum, alligator, alligator, Tarzan. Next one. Once more. Tarzan, 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 alligator. 2 flags on the alligator, 1 flag on each Tarzan. Tarzan, 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 alligator. Again. Once more. Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan, alligator. Be careful with this one. Again. And once more. Alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, Tarzan. 1 flag on the Tarzan, 2 flags on the alligator. So again, whenever there's a Tarzan or an alligator there, it's a lot harder to hear. Okay, nice symmetry here. Again. Once more. Alligator, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan. All right. Alligator, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan. Now, I'm teaching this rhythm notation thing because this is the thing really helps you learn to read music, particularly the rhythms first. When I look at a piece of music or I hear a piece of music, I tend to hear the rhythms first, and I try to write those out. Then I'll go back and I'll listen to the melody, and then from that I'll try to figure out the harmony. So if you listen to a song 3 times, you can write it down in 3 parts and pretty much flush out the entire song. That's the discipline here. So being able to read and write in real time is crucial. And we don't do enough writing in this country, especially since we have programs where we can put it in. People don't use pencil and paper that much anymore. Okay, this one's an easy one. Once more. Drum, 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 alligator. Once more. drum, alligator, alligator, drum. Drum, alligator, alligator, drum. Now with just drum and Tarzan, there's 16 possibilities. With drum and alligator, there's 16. With alligator and Tarzan, there's 16. But with all three, it goes up to like 96 plus, right? So every time we add a new code word, this thing is gonna double, triple, quadruple. It's like giving you a penny one day, then 2 pennies the next, 4 the next, 8 the next, and if I keep doubling it within 64 days, I'll have all the money in the world. So it's sort of the same situation. So you have to get used to these basic ones. All right, I'm just gonna give you one more here to make an even 21 today. Okay, you ready? Once again. Alligator drum, alligator drum. Now I'm going to take a simple rhythm Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum. Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum. And the variation on that would be Tarzan, Tarzan, one line, Tarzan, drum. I could do these all with just one line if I want. Tarzan, 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 drum. Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, Tarzan drum. Okay? This is going to be the main rhythm, which we refer to as an iso rhythm. And this is a little variation on it. See, he's just putting a Tarzan right in here. Look at it this way. Okay? He's just putting a Tarzan right there to kind of refresh your palate a little bit. And then sometimes at the end, he'll do this. And we'll explain this rhythm a little bit later. This is a downbeat and upbeat, a downbeat, and then this is the upbeat. And we'll explain that in a bit. Now, how can we, before we get into this, what's another way of learning to do these where we can feel the upbeat? The upbeat is the most difficult part for people. And when you get into a lot of Spanish music or South American music, a lot of upbeats happen. When you get into jazz, a lot of upbeats happen. And what happens is often the upbeat gets lost for the downbeat. So there's a really simple way of being able to tell the difference between downbeat and upbeat. If I'm doing drum and hitting my leg, it's just drum, 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 drum. But if I'm doing Tarzan, it's going to be tar, and then there'll be one on the upbeat. Zan, tar, zan, tar, zan. So what I do is I just put my hand over the top of it, like this. Drum, drum, Tarzan, 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 drum. Drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. Drum, Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, 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 drum. Drum, Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, 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 drum. Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, 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 drum. Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, drum. Tarzan, 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 drum. With alligator, what we're going to have is alligator, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator. Okay? So that simple thing of just putting your hand above your other hand will help you feel those upbeats. And for Tarzan, it should be Tarzan, Tarzan, down, up. And for alligator, 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 alligator. Now that's important because later we're going to split those things in half and recombine them with each other and create a little sort of Frankenstein rhythm of our own. Okay, so now let's take this iso rhythm here and let's look to Bach. Put on my other pair of eyes. Let's look to Bach and listen to Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum. Sometimes an iso rhythm can be used to do an entire piece. I'm going to play from the Anna Magdalena a little, just the right hand, of a Bach piece called Bourriere. And this is a piece that Jethro Tull back in the 70s copied and put on one of his early records, and he became famous for this melody. So many of you, even millennials, after millennials, I don't know how popular this was, but I know from millennials back to the turn of the century, you'll probably recognize this. So first, the tune goes. Recognize it. Now listen to the code words. Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, Tarzan drum, 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 Tuesday drum. Once again, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum. That's a drum, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, where the first syllable of Tarzan gets stuck to the drum of the other beat, so it's drum, zan, drum. Okay, another little Bach piece. Now this one's in 3. Listen, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, 2, 3. Drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, 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 Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. So there it is in Bach. If you look at those pieces right now, I will try to copy and make a PDF, but I've been having trouble making PDFs and putting them on my website for some reason. It'll take me a little while to figure that out, but what I will try to do is in the diddly-do, in the bottom in the future, I will actually copy the piece of Bach and put it there so you can pull it up as a PDF and follow along. Now the bass hand is doing almost the same thing, except it's mostly going drum, 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 Tarzan, drum, 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 2, 3. It's doing a similar rhythm when it's playing melodically. Otherwise, it's just going drum, 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 trying to keep a metronomic pulse going on in the left hand while you have this Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum, Tarzan drum going on in the right hand. So there's an example of it in music. Now, don't get discouraged. Do your walking down the street. Do your thing with this. There are other things that we call patch claps in the San Francisco Free Theater and further on back in the Chicago Free Theater back in 1968, 1969. Bill Russo created these little patch clap things to help with the rhythm, something like crow, rooster, crow, cock-a-doodle-doo. You have no time to play today, so you must crow, rooster, crow, cock-a-doodle-doo. You must tell all, it's time to get up. And that's an example of what we call a patch clap, and those things were very common. Orff did a lot of that stuff. Gurdjieff did a lot of that kind of stuff to raise consciousness of people. It's a way of getting people's breathing synced in together. And if a lot of people do that, and then you do it as a round or as a canon, where one person starts the rhythm and another one starts it a little bit later, another one starts a little bit later, you get some beautiful cacophony going on that's really quite pleasant and interesting. So that's it for our lesson today. Next week, we will go a little bit deeper into this with drum, Tarzan, and alligator, and I'm going to show you next week your first compounded code word. We're going to do what's called ALLIGATOR and TARZAN. So we're going to take Tarzan and Alligator, and we're going to put them together into a new code word. And again, I'll play some Bach for you so you can hear these code words in their raw, simple, straightforward form. So I hope your ears are all tuned up and getting ready. And remember, next week, pencil and paper, and just meet us here. This, by the way, does have a little chat room on the side. If you type into the chat, it comes up on the screen and Angel can read it. And if any question that you have while this lesson is going on live, if she feels it's pertinent, she'll yell it out to me and I'll be glad to answer your question. So until next Thursday at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, good night and bless everybody. So long, YouTube. The X, top. Help, I tried to.